So guess what happened since I didn't beat the oversold Queen Pearl last time? Yep. Of course, it was kind of a dead giveaway since it had already happened. Well, I think I must have put Riku into Berserker earlier. If I was smart, I did. Your screen must have better contrast than mine does. 4,500 damage, and it still wasn't enough to kill it.
Come on, girls. The pussycat's ass. I'm not sure if it is actually meant to be a feline.
It certainly looks like a feline. Yeah, those things have a lot more hit points than I realized. Yeah, we got it that time, so the next one won't be oversold. I'm having a lot of trouble going in the right direction, partly because I can't see where I am at this point.
Yeah, video games tend to make you do that, like going one way, something happens, and turn around. Like, wait, I was going this way?
Well, one thing that this game does do that's smart is if you're walking and the camera shifts while you're holding down the button, you'll keep going in the same direction. And only when you let go of the control stick does it, you know, readjust what direction on the control stick means what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, the Raging Giant Garment Grid is what I get for all this trouble. I think it gives stat boosts, but I'm not sure. Luckily, I have my guide right here, so I can see.
Yes. You can check and tell everyone. All of the lovely people watching.
Or I'm... oh, never mind, I'm looking at... oh no, it has status effects and status immunities. I don't think I put it on any character because while that stuff would be useful, like, it's just not as useful as some other stuff I have. I believe I have exactly half of the game's garment grids at this point, 30 out of 60. It is not possible to get all of them in one run. Because there are some cases where if you do one thing, you get one, and if you do another thing, you get a different one. Sort of like what happens at the beginning of every Pokemon game.
Yes.
Except Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah. That was actually my first pick. So I always thought that was Pikachu. In the most recent Super Smash Brothers, if you're playing online, there are two. And you're not, like, choosing to play specifically with your friends, you're just choosing to play with anybody. There are two modes. You can play For Glory, which is, like, all, you know, standardized stages, no items. So, like, competitive type matches. And the selection for that one shows Link and Samus. Then the other option is with items and on any stage. That one's called For Fun. It shows Kirby and Pikachu. Oh yes, I think here's where I ran into what I really wasn't expecting to see. Yes, every Final Fantasy veteran's nightmare. What I wasn't thinking of at the time was that Yuna has a ribbon equipped. Which is the anti-Malboro. Well, it can still, you know, smack her. Yeah, well, I did not remember that I had one character that was immune to status ailments, so I was taking this guy very seriously.
Also, because the first Final Fantasy game I've ever played was the one where they're probably the most dangerous because they always start the battle with bad breath. Which is Final Fantasy VIII. They always started that with bad breath and they have a crap ton of hit points. So basically, if you're wandering in an area you know they will be, you need one character who is immune to Confuse and Berserk.
This'll do it!
Yeah. Except sometimes you can get lucky. It's like, oh shit, Malboro. Characters disappear, starts raiding, guy comes in on horse, Santetsuken. So yeah, apparently there are Malboros in this area. No. Alright. So now I've run out of, or almost run out of options. I have to do actual plot stuff now. Plotness. By the way, if you can, keep an eye out for any contact from Roxy. Alright, so lots of chests here as usual, and also a few people who will take your sales pitches. Yeah, I think I gave up on one or two because I was just looking and it's like, alright, either my guide's wrong or I'm just being dumb. Because I cannot find them. Yeah, there are a lot of places where the guide I have is not exactly wrong, it just has the information in a way that's not that easy to access.
It's like, do this.
Or it's more like you think it's going to be on page 250 and it's actually on page 126. The information that you want.
I getcha. But the info is all in the wrong place.
Well, the Orioles did finish the season with a non-losing record.
That's good.
Which is good because they had a miserable stretch in August when they lost like 12 out of 13 games.
What is that in the order?
Yeah, anyway, so what's happened here is that I think the New Yevon people have blocked off the temple. The Youth League people want to get in. So there's a standoff, of course.
Of course.
But then the Youth League people have blocked off an earlier point. It's the gate, like, heading into the forest.
Ah, yes.
I'm not sure I knew there was a gate there, but there is. Of course, the gate is more noticeable when it's closed. Oh, I know what I was going to say earlier. I counted... There was a stretch of time between, like, the 20th of August and the 20th of September, or roughly. I guess it would have been the 20th of August and the 18th of September. Out of those 30 nights, I slept in my apartment only 17. That's how much I was traveling.
Sounds like you've been a busy man.
Yeah, some of the stuff was for fun, some of the stuff was for work. But after the last thing, which was a American Bar Association conference,
After that point, I, finally... Oh, okay, important point there. But I just got there, the Chaos Maelstrom Garment Grid, Maelstrom, was, okay, you want to equip this one. If you equip this one, you want to equip it on someone who has learned Dark Knight abilities. Because it lets you use them whenever you want.
Very nice.
So I'm putting it on you now. Or maybe not. Yeah, okay, I only know... Actually, I don't know any of them. Oh no, I know Demi. But I've, like, learned everything else. Other than those abilities. Yuna has another Garment Grid of that type equipped right now. She has Pride of the Sword, which does the same thing for Warrior. But of course, when she learns more Dark Knight abilities, I might decide to switch. So yeah, once I got back from the American Bar Association conference, I was relieved. I was glad to be able to be in one place for a while because that travel was tiring.
And traveling a lot is tiring.
Yeah, the American Bar Association, if you didn't know, is basically one of the big trade groups for lawyers in this country.
It's only that right?
Yes, the bar is not just, for lawyers, the bar is not only a place where you go to drink. It also means, like, the profession of attorneys. In England, there are, I know there are two types of lawyers. The lower ranking type is a solicitor, and the higher ranking type is a barrister. So, barrister, bar, they come from the same place. The words. In the US, we don't have that distinction. There's only one type. So, you can make a couple sales pitches here. You know, if this game had been made more recently, I think there's a good chance that you might be able to make the matchmaking pitches to anyone regardless of gender.
Yeah. Which would have been good. So well.
Then again, the guy's father might have said, oh, he's only into women, so don't bother talking to men, so could have been that way too.
And you just had to come running.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I remember when The Sims came out, I was surprised that, like, people could fall in love regardless of gender, and then I was thinking, okay, I guess that's kind of progressive.
Let's take a look.
Good job, guys. You probably did that before a lot of people would.
The youth blockaded the forest entrance. As they should. We can't have those temple vermin crawling into town now, can we? Besides, it spares me from having to see that sulky face.
Sulky face?
Riku knows what's going on.
Of course, he's with me, Yevon, so naturally he's in the temple. But then it's really none of my business.
Then we'll make it ours. Besides, I'm worried about the fiends.
If you want to go that badly, I won't stop you. But they're turning people away at the gate.